Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to a new episode of our Let's Play of Factorio, the experimental 0.17 version. At least, at the time I'm recording this, it's still experimental and hasn't been released as a final build, although it's clearly nearing that quite a bit. In between episodes, I did go, as I said, increase our steel production, or sorry, iron production here a little bit more. You can see I've actually got steel furnaces set up here, but we don't actually have the sort of logistical infrastructure to actually feed them at the appropriate rate, but I'm just starting to build those. Steel furnaces work twice as fast as a stone furnace, and we're going to want to like sort of migrate over to that at some point. So I'm just avoiding building more stone furnaces, at least for now. Getting that down there, but you can see here are like we don't have full saturation of our iron inputs over here, which is why today we're going to start by working on some trains so that we can get a lot more iron ore into our system. Because while right now there's sort of this like backlog of iron plates, it's mostly because I'm not doing anything. I let the game run for a long time, so you can see nothing here is actually being constructed because all these bins are full, all these bins are full. I built a little area over here to make some trains for us, so locomotive construction, wagon construction, and rail construction over here. It's a little sloppy, but it got the job done. And you can see like nothing is actually producing because all of our bins are full. But if it was working right now, we would quickly like run out of all this iron over here. We just don't have enough production from it. Now, partially is because we're going to need more of these smelter operations set up. But really, the core problem right now is we don't have enough iron ore coming in, especially since I'm currently leaching from this to go to our steel production over here. And this is the steel production setup I usually use over here, where we've got a line of furnaces on the right hand side, or whichever side, that is grabbing iron ore, making iron plates, and then those iron plates are being fed into another furnace, which is going to make steel plates. Both these furnaces do need to be fed in from coal over here. It takes 5 iron plates to make a single steel plate, but it takes 5 times as long to make a steel plate, so the ratios work out very nicely here. But you can see, well, now I think that these guys are starting to fill up, or there's a backlog. Now the iron's reaching here. For a long time, the iron ore wasn't actually reaching to the end. And again, we don't have full saturation. The other thing too is this iron patch is relatively quickly running out, especially while things are running. It's got less than 250,000 resources in here, so we really want to get some more iron ore into our whole system here for the next big set of builds. And then, you know, that'll get us started with the trains, which really helps with the throughput. I think, set up a few more defenses and walls here and there. We've got quite a few nests that are being tickled by pollution here. Oh, another big wave of dudes that is getting ready to come to us and smack themselves against the walls. So we're gonna have to go and clear up more of these nests relatively soon. I don't really feel like my equipment is currently set up for it. I really would like the armor-piercing bullets before we go and take another pass, and we shall see. All right, well, I mean, this is still working okay, so, but at some point, the amount of bullets we have might start to be a bit of a problem. So let's start planning our rail network. So what I want to do over here, we've got these 2 big iron ore mines. And you can sort of imagine them as one big deposit over here of about 12 million. And it seems really convenient. We could build a little train station between. That feels great. So we'll have to go up through this little bottleneck. There's some rough terrain here, so our rail tracks will be kind of interesting. In terms of placing things down, so I'm going to have a station over here, because right now this is where I am producing our iron ore, and I think it's pretty natural that we can just set up an iron ore delivery station right over here. Some things are taking damage. It's probably just walls though, but I should talk less and do a little bit more. This might get slightly in the way. We will see. So yeah, we have to run around this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually build our first set of tracks up north here. So I've got a bunch of rails. I did go and make a locomotive and some signals and some wagons and a ton of rails, and I've got them in my inventory over here. Now, let's assume we're going to want to hug this cliff. So we're going to start there and then space out a rail some amount to the other side to set things up, because we're going to want one rail that goes sort of in one direction and one in the other. You can go with a single rail setup, and then you can use sidings and stuff like that, and it actually feels really fun and like trainy, you know, and stuff. But as your train network grows and grows, you're really going to want sort of these dual tracks. So there's, you know, a question of how spaced out do you put these 2 tracks, and the most common set of spacing is either, well, 2 spaces here. Now these are double wide, like rail is like twice as wide as a transport belt. So 2 gap over here of rail or 3 gap over here. There's sort of pros and cons to both. I think I usually use the 2 gap, and in particular, I think I've got a blueprint in here. Yeah, just checking. This blueprint book that I quite like over here, and it operates on a 2 gap. We won't be using the blueprints right now though. So this gap is large enough that you can put some decent stuff in there. Again, it's a 2 rail gap, but it's sort of a 4 tile gap. If we grab, say, transport belts over here, you can see it's clearly 4 tiles wide. And this seems to be okay. Going wider doesn't seem to be much point because you don't tend to need that much space in between. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this. Now, we're not going to place the rail one at a time. What you're going to do, if you have rail in your hand and you mouse over a placed rail, you see this little green arrow? If you click on that, then all of a sudden you can place rail this way. You can also, if you hold shift, it'll enter a ghost planning mode, so it'll put down blueprints and things for you, which is very cool and very slick. But for now, we're going to do this, and I'm going to have to, yeah, more or less figure out our path to the north here by hand. Again, we could be using blueprints and stuff, and we will later. But for now, corners do slow down trains, but I'm a little worried if I do this. Oh, actually, one of the things I'm really bad at is actually planning the diagonal route. Now, this straight here, yeah, I don't tend to work with diagonals because it's kind of a pain to align. But yeah, we'll just have to make do. We are taking some damage somewhere. Hopefully it's just, okay, it is just a wall, but at some point we're gonna have to babysit those things. All right, let's keep going and hope that we can run the other rail here. If they end up being side by side for a little bit, it's not the end of the world. All right, so obviously we're gonna need to go and cut a gap in our fence here. So there's no option for tunneling on our rails. Maybe at some future expansion there will be, or expansion patch more accurately, is probably how we want to describe things. Let's go ahead and plan something like that. There we go, plan that out. So we're gonna have a gap in our wall now. And unfortunately, well, we can actually, I forgot we can gate this up. There we go. So we set up a little gate. For some reason I've thought that rails can't gate, but no, there we go. So we got a gate here, so the gap's not too bad. Oh, I should actually move these. I'm already getting nervous standing on the rail here. One of the first things you learn in Factorio is that trains hurt like hell and tend to kill you. So standing on a track is like this instinctually bad thing that you want to avoid. Let's back up to our wall here. And actually, while we're here, how's our chest doing? Okay, it still has a fair number of bullets. I'm taking a little bit of damage over here, but not too bad. Since it looks like the attack tends to be coming from this flank quite a bit more, what I'm going to do is load up a couple more guns here. Now, I think these... Oh, you actually can be serviced that way, but the one on the end can't. So I'm just going to go ahead and load in like 200 bullets, since it can't be loaded. But we want to make sure we got more guns on the edge where they tend to attack from. Your train tracks can sometimes get attacked, and it's really annoying if critters start to chew it. The train tracks themselves don't pollute, and they're not noisy, so they don't attract attention in and of themselves. But sometimes the aliens will come by and just decide, because they're nearby, they'll go ahead and do that. And it tends to be really annoying, because then all of a sudden your trains can't get anywhere. So yeah, setting up these, I mean, you can't reach. Oh, I guess I have to be right next to this to mine it. Alright, fair enough. I don't know what I was saying. Anyway, things. So things are being damaged, but it's here. Okay, that's still fine for now. I do have the research paused, just because I wanted to... I didn't need to research any of this stuff right now, so I didn't want to use up any more of our iron ore on, like, researching stuff while we were waiting. Boom. I guess we'll keep this going straight for a bit. So yeah, later on we will be doing more with blueprints, but since we don't have construction bots right now, the blueprints don't mean as much, and also it wouldn't, the blueprints, while they're like very nice to making sure that they do everything, they do like place power stations or power towers a little too close together. I mean, we could ignore that, but then I think it'll just get really confusing. Okay, let those go by. you can see I've got my little forts that I like to build here in places to, after I've cleared them out, just keep things safe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get relatively close to this nest. Okay, right up over there. And since they were running by here, I'm going to set up another little defense area. But now we could wall in this entire little outpost, which might be what we end up doing. Ideally, we'd also want to clear out the nearby nest, because once we start mining over here, these guys are going to be like super aggro all the time. The problem is they've got a bunch of these little spitters. Now, I do have heavy armor now, which is good. Yeah, it doesn't have any acid protection, because I think these things like to spit and put acid on you. So, I don't know. I know I'm being quiet here. I'm being sneaky around the bugs. I don't know if we can actually clear this. Problem is, we are going to have to hit this. We might be in range of more than one spit. Okay, run away, run away, run away. But I still have acid that's burning me right now. Okay, so far okay. Alright, 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 alright. Maybe what I'll do is I'll take, I'll just leave 100 in each one of these. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to worry about clearing this a bit more. And when you're out of combat, you do regenerate. So we want to avoid jumping back into combat. Because the thing is, those spitters do outrange the turrets. And that can be very dangerous and scary. Okay, there. Now, run back to the turrets. Luckily, we didn't take very much damage there. That was really, really good. I did research. We do have a couple of, like, gun damage upgrades. In fact, the thing to do to really clear this out would probably get the next military tech, but... Focus fire this thing down. Okay. Yeah, alright, we're going to be able to clear this just fine. What I'll probably do is I'm just going to grab these. Just to have more bullets in my inventory. We'll probably creep forward with this in a second. So, hotkey 6 and 7. So the way to, like, more quickly clear these, if you have problems, is 6, switch to 7, and then just slam those across. So 6, I mean, whatever hotkey you happen to have your stuff on, and then 7. Okay, we'll do that. Yeah, spit on me instead of the guns. That's quite good. Although now, see, what I'm going to have to do is pick up these guns, because they're being spit on and outranged. But that's okay. Over here I have my damage guns. I'm just going to put them down here and repair them up. So clearing these nests, I mean, there might be a more skillful way of doing it, but mostly I do this sort of creeping advance. Okay, I've got more of these worms. Yeah, as long as we're... Ooh, the second one is hitting us. You have to be really just super duper careful. Super duper careful. Because it can be surprising. You can back up and then you're dying to, like, the acid damage over time. I might be able to, and I suspect I can, do this 7. There we go. Just rush up. I just really don't like it when the towers or the turrets get destroyed, especially since you lose all the guns, all the bullets that were inside them when the turrets die. So that's the cost. See, I'm still burning from acid damage here. Grab you. Put you in. Keep you repaired. There you go. Oh, the other thing you want to be careful with the turrets, they don't attack whatever's close. Well, to start off with, they attack whatever's closer. But once they've started attacking a target, they don't stop. So if they're attacking one of the nests, they won't stop attacking the nest to, like, defend themselves or anything like that. So if you've got a turret that's locked onto a nest, you have to make sure to defend it, because it won't defend itself. But that's one of the other advantages to having the staggered lines of turrets. So you have the front one that's locked onto the nest, and then as things move forward, you have a back line of turrets that are killing those. Okay, that's good. We might end up boxing this whole thing up. I'm not sure. So all we're going to do here, I'll clear out a few stones, and we'll build a little train station right in between these two bits. Excellent. So our rail here is going to come over this way. I'm going to leave a fair amount of length here, but it is just going to be a station. So I'm not working on the crossings. We'll have to figure that out later. But that's going to be okay. And then we can basically take the long trip back at this point, because there's no real point in developing the mining over here until we've got some power. So I'm going to do this, and this gets so much faster with bots, because then, yeah, you just use blueprints, and they just mass develop this stuff for you. So there we go. That's 2 tiles wide. So we're going to run this all the way back, and then we're going to run back one more time while dropping power lines along the way. The other nice thing when you've got construction bots is they will tear apart these obstacles for you as you go. So there's some oil here, but I don't think we're going to expect to mine this. It is kind of nice and close. By doing it this way, I have left room for jack pumps, so maybe we will exploit those at some point. We shall see. There we go. That is 2 tiles wide. So we got to clear you out of the way, clear you out of the way, and gate, pick up this, and then have you go underground some more. Oops, let's pull that back. I mean, it doesn't matter if some of the segments are a little too close together, but it looks stupid. Ah, see, and then I was a little concerned about this. Can't reach, but there we go. So we actually will have to have these 2 tracks very close to one another just here because the water's a little close. I could develop some landfill and just fill in a little bit of the water, but I don't think we're going to do that. Excellent. Okay, that's connected up. So this will be okay. We'll just have to run the power lines adjacent to our rail setup for a bit. I would feel better, like, spacing out a little bit here, but oops. Well, that's unfortunate. But it can be really annoying to, like, if I go into, like, ghost mode and, like, okay, I want it here, but no, not that way. It gets really awkward. So we'll just leave it adjacent for now, even though it's not really our ideal. And then over here, we're going to plan on... There we go. Back to a width of 2. Excellent. Now, over here, while at the other end, I just had to terminate to a station, here we can assume that we're going to have a lot of trains going back and forth over here. So I think I do want to build a proper junction and station here. So what we're going to do is I will actually use a blueprint just because working out some of these junction is kind of annoying. Yeah, I guess a full crossing. We don't need a T just a regular, no, not this. Yeah, see, this is a chunk line cross. Did we? Oh, we actually happen to be chunk line. That's very convenient. So when you place rail, it's like you can't place them. How's the best explaining this? See, I can place a rail here, and I can place a rail here, but I can't sort of place it in between. There's other things, and there's alignments, and I don't know. Maybe it's less of a problem now than it used to be, but sometimes you would end up not being able to properly meet 2 pieces of rail together. But that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. If I line you up over here, that means a rail thing going west is going to be able to fit in here and not worry about the cliff, which is nice. And so this eastern crossing, the goal of this one is actually going to be to enter into our train station to deliver iron ore. So what we have to do is we have to clear a little bit of space here. I'm just going to go and remove this for now. And we'll just have to repath it in a scooch. Yeah, I was going to say I'll probably fill up over here. Let me just grab a chest, drop it over here, dump a bunch of stone in there. I don't like this. There's a stone on the ground. We'll probably fill up again here in a sec. Okay. So yeah, I like using the blueprint for the crossing because, like, working out the crossing specifics can be kind of a pain in the butt. Let's drop some stone or some brick. Excellent. We will look at what all this means later. So again, if you're newer to Factorio, we'll do some explanation. Don't worry about that. But right now, all I'm using this for is we're just turning the corner here. I'm not even going to build all of this. I just wanted to like have pre-placed things, but I'm just turning the corner with the goal to set up a station. So our trains, we're going to do right-hand drive for our trains. So this side is going to go north, this side is going to go south. So if we've got a station over here, the train coming from the iron station, well, and anyway, the right-hand drive, this is the entrance to our station. And this will be the exit to our station, in case, you know, it matters for your planning. So this is going to come over this way. And yet we'll have to shave off a little bit more over here. Oh, if only we had construction bots for some easy deconstruction. Watch me put that chest in the way here. So we're gonna have to go there. We're gonna have to come around this way. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be in the way, which is fine. Because it's very easy to just shove this aside. In fact, I could sort of do it now. That's kind of an insignificant little mining area. We can do something kind of like that. Just side load in. Actually, I think this is... Yeah, this got nothing underneath it. This has got nothing underneath it. I mean, you can sometimes tell because they're not moving, but they can also not move because they simply can't load anything on the belt. So this has expected resources listed underneath it. See? 353. Whereas this piece over here, oh no, still does. But this has no expected resources. So it's completely empty underneath. Ditto over here, but that one's not running because there's nothing going on. This one's not running because it's empty, and you can tell because there'd be room, so you'd be able to do that. There you go. There's a great mod I love to run called the Bottleneck Run Mod. All it does is put a little colored dot on all your buildings. They're green if they're running well. They're yellow if they're just not running because their output is full. So these guys here would have a yellow dot to say, well, I mean, they're not producing anything right now, but they could be. And they have a red dot if they're starved of resources, which for miners means you could remove the drill. And then for things like assemblers, it says, well, you're not giving me enough input. You probably want to fix that. So, you know, get on it. Anyway, for now, we're just going to continue this. Just got to leave enough room for the turnaround here. Actually, how do we feel about... I'm not sure we've given ourselves enough room. So you'd be taking this corner, and then cleaning this up can be a little tricky to remove the right spots, but there you go. I don't think this is long enough. So if I go with the train stop and I put it down, it'll give you a preview of where the train cars will sit. And you can see here, we've got the locomotive and then two other cars, and then after that, the cars would end up on a bend, which isn't what we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove this completely. Now I'm trying to do this without having to move too many things. There we go. I'll just run you that way. But clearly the right thing is just to make sure to start somewhere where you've got more place in general. So I want a longer station. So let's do something like this, and then yes, just make that corner. I'll start from the other side. There. So now, if I grab the station, or the train stop, there you go. This has got enough room for the locomotive and 4 cars to all be on the straightaway. Alright, so, I mean, a little bit of shuffling. But that's okay. And... hang on. Can you not actually... okay, there we go. Yeah, I think the rail wasn't quite connected. It couldn't make the corner. It looked somewhat connected, but oops, but actually wasn't. Okay, done and done. So now this train station here, let's go. We can drop down our locomotive. So grab your locomotive from your inventory. You can rotate it to change directions, but we want to face in this way. You can see it sort of snaps nicely to the train stop, and then we're going to put 4 cargo wagons on it. So 4 is a fairly common number, just because, I don't know, I guess things fit in well. I mean, you could have 2 or 3. You can have, I think you can have up to 8 wagons in a locomotive, but then you need a really long straightaway. I think a lot of people like to go with 4. I certainly do. It's worth noting one of the things you can do is you can have a locomotive on each end of this, which gives your train the ability to move in 2 separate directions. But I like to do it this way. Oh, that is a big wave of aliens over here. They might bust through at some point. Anyway, I'm just going to fuel up the train here, giving it some coal. So now it can move around. We will design a system for unloading the train in a scooch, but for now we'll do that. Oh, we're going to click on the station and we're going to name it. I am going to name it Iron Ore Drop-Off. That is my naming mechanic, and it's not very exciting, but it does work. All right, you're holding off for now, but we're clearly going to have to do things. So when you're, you can get into a train, standing next to it, hit enter. And you can hit enter to get out. You can actually even get into a cargo wagon, although, apparently you can drive from back there too. I didn't realize it. In multiplayer, you can also do that. Someone can jump into the locomotive, other people can jump into back wagons, you can travel together. Once you're on a train, you can just hit forward or backwards, so W and S. And when you approach a corner, so not one of these, but like an intersection, you can hit left and right, i.e. like A and D, to choose which path you want to take. It can be a little tricky to sort out at first, but I have full confidence in you guys. You'll be able to do it. So we're going to hit the brakes over here. And we're going to set up, actually, I'm going to set you up over here. Train stop. So this is where we're going to load from, which seems fine. So we're going to call this one. How are we doing here? Okay, we're fine. We're going to call this one Iron Ore Pickup 1. Boom. So then what we can do is we can tell this train, hey, Mr. Train, you are going to go to Iron Ore Pickup 1. Oh, I guess we don't click it that way. Sorry, the UI changed. Add station, Iron Ore Pickup 1. Add station, Iron Ore Drop Off. This is going to be your route. At Iron Ore Pickup 1, you're going to sit here until you have full cargo. Then when you get to the drop off, you're going to sit there until your cargo is empty. And I can hit automatic. And what's going to happen is this train will automatically go to this station here without me driving it, and we'll wait there until its cargo is completely full, which obviously won't happen right now because we're not mining anything. Once you get these automated trains, you really want to be careful about standing on the tracks because the trains will kill you with glee if you happen to be standing on the tracks. The trains do not stop for you. They will smash you. Every chance they get. I swear they've got a malevolence about them. Or something, probably. I don't know. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for my electric mining drills. So I'm going to start off with this northern bit. Oh, looks like I got to clear some more rocks out of here to get started. See, these are just cosmetic rocks. This, I think that's real rock. I have a hard time noticing the difference from time to time. And we're going to do something like this. Looks like we could probably stop there. And then the other side. Excellent. Now, what we're going to do is, I guess we'll just use some yellows for now, because we may as well use them up. I mean, we can upcycle yellows into reds, but I think for now, since we're a little bit material poor, we'll do that. Our plan will be to get all of these mining things. So we're going to have another row of miners set up. I guess you can start there. And then, of course, we'll have, facing ones over here. And we're going to have another one, and so on and so forth. What we're going to plan is to have all of these go into a 4x4 balancer. I think what we can assume is probably just something like this, and then we'll assume there's going to be some other lines that somehow meet up over here. Whether the 4 makes much sense or whatever merges together, it's going to be okay. I'll set up a little balancer over here. And at this point, I will switch into reds, because it'll allow for more throughput once we do everything, get everything set up. Boom, boom. And then we want you like that, you like that, you like that. Again, I've done this a fair amount of time. You'll probably have to, if you're new to the Factorio, you will have to reference a diagram, and that is okay. So leave a little bit of space and then swing it back over this way. I think we may have to leave a little bit more space for these miners to fit in comfortably here. Actually, I got to figure out our placement of other things. So, the way we're going to want to load this, we are going to want to use stack inserters, but I don't really have access to them. So for now, we're going to set up something like this, and like this, and we're going to put a row of iron chests in between, and then we are going to... I mean, that's the most even way of dividing it. Yeah, I mean, it's probably worth setting it up right. So you're going to be coming to here, and then like that. So that's actually going to be the outside one. So we'll have to make the space fit somehow. Anyway, to something like this. So it'll come in here, they'll split, and the reason we set up this way is because I was supposed to run power cables over here. Derp. While there's no train here, we want to fill up these bins. And then when the train arrives, we want to go from the bins to here. And grabbing things from bins and putting the trains, especially once you get stacking inserters, is much, much faster than anything else. So you will fill up your trains faster. Plus, it's nice to like keep a buffer of resources going on. So we'll get you like that. Power cables this way. And then it's kind of nice. What you can do is just click and hold. Now, you don't necessarily have to do this fancy split. Probably it'll work fine if you just did something like this and it uses up less material. But, I don't know. I like it, therefore I will do it. It also uses up a little bit less space, like, horizontally here. So, if you're a little bit tight on space, which honestly we kind of are here, I may have wanted to do that. All right. So yeah, I'm a little worried we're gonna run up near there, but I guess that'll just have to be the way it's gonna have to be. You're gonna go that way, you're gonna go that way. And of course, actually I don't know, because again, I'm in Scotland, it's my normal computer. I'm assuming I have blueprints for train stations already made, but again, since I don't have bots, and I'm gonna have to do all this clicking anyway, and it's not a hard thing to keep in mind. I'm not basing this on any kind of blueprint or anything like that. Well, I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get in the train, I'm going to turn it off automatic so I can drive it myself, and these large power poles, we're going to go, I'm going to drive forward. I don't think can you click and hold the large power poles when you're in a train? Oh, you can. Well, that's alright. I think when we get next to the water, we'll have to change things up, and really I want them sort of in the middle here. There we are. There. Oh, and oh, stop. Back up, because you're overshooting this curve, which we're gonna need. So I do that. There we go. That's connected over there, and that's connected there. So, oh, I should have set a radar up at the top. That's okay. I don't know if we're short on anything. I think we're currently okay on all the materials we're going to need. So I'm just going to hit play to tell it to go to the pickup, which sets it to automatic again. So a couple of different ways that you can click this. I do love the new train interface. It looks very slick. This is a 0.17 change. So we're going to ride this all the way up to the top again. And yeah, once those miners are going, they're gonna pollute. So they're gonna have a long range, and mining, it's, I don't know, especially noisy or something, it like really likes to aggro the bugs. So this area is gonna be under constant fire. We may actually have to just surround this with a giant wall, and I think that's probably the case. So in theory, yes, you've got power. These are not blinking, which is good. I guess I'll get you to over here, and then I guess I could use the last of our little small poles over here to empower this. The small poles are annoying because they don't actually reach through sides. There we go. We'll get started on the medium soon. All right, you're starting to produce. Let's go and extend this out this way. I was gonna say this will probably end up with a gap, but that's fine. I mean, it drives me crazy a little bit, but it's gonna get the job done. Do that. There we go. We got 2 more left, and that's it. Something is, I think, being destroyed. Yeah, there you go. They actually did kill the gun on the other side. We're gonna have to go and reset that. I think we do have a backup line of protection. I don't know. I should probably get on the train pretty quickly and go and fix that. Medium poles. There we go. Let's actually, we're going to do that. We're going to get on the train, and we're going to ask the train to go to the iron drop-off site. I know it's not full, but that's going to be okay. I guess it's not filling the back thing anyway, but yeah, there was enough production done. Now, we're going to have to come back here real soon to defend it, but... I didn't mean to actually get out. That was a mistake. Hang on. Oh, I can hit my trains this way. You. go to manual. So that'll cause you to crawl to a halt. I don't think it's actually going to apply the brakes, but at least it'll slow down. Yeah. I know. So I think it's just walls being destroyed right now, but... There we go, right over there. Oh. They may have given up on the wall and then moved up over here. Alright, I'll just set up more guns here. First, let me repair you. Okay, and over here as well. Just don't want to forget the repair job. Excellent. Oh, there was a gap. So someone may have gotten through, but they may have just come around to those guns. That's probably this dude right over here that you can see dead. Alright, so this is more guns than were here before. And in addition to that, if I put one here, it'll just barely also cover the front over here for the melee ones. And yeah, let's get a couple in here. Like that. Alright, we'll have to pick up some more bullets when we set up our defenses by our mining setup. Oh, you've taken a little bit of damage here. Let me repair you. Excellent. Alright. So this train is here. I guess I could tell you, yeah, just go to the iron drop-off spot. Oh, you've overshot. So he's got no path to get here because he's got to back up just to this crossing. There we go. And so go back to the iron drop-off. So now his instruction is to wait here until he is empty. I'm just going to turn you to manual for now. And I'm going to make a little bit more space here. Actually, you can see, like, I'd redesigned how this path was working a while ago, so we've got this little, like, loopy-loop. So we may as well go and clear that and straighten things out. Because we can. Excellent. And I'm just going to come over here and dump that in there so it's not in my inventory. Alright, we're going to need you out of the way, my friend. And just let's make sure that we haven't broken our electrical networks. Get some redundancy going on. Alright, for unloading, it's going to look very similar to loading. What we're going to do is we'll do something like this. That's fine. Let me just do the top. And then we are also going to have these unload into chests. For two reasons. Again, it's a little better to like go from chest to chest, and for that the wagons count as that. So stack inserters work quite good for loading things this way, and that way we can load things into here even if like there's a backlog over here. We can still empty the train as quickly as we possibly can. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to drop these onto belts like this. And there's a funny little thing. So inserters always drop things on the far side of a belt. But what happens when a belt is straight like this? Which side does the inserter drop it on? I believe it's on the right hand side. So if we do this, these three inserters will load onto here, which will end up on the left hand side of this belt. And these two inserters will drop over here, which will end up on the right hand side of this belt. And I think this inserter will also drop on the right hand side of the belt, which means we're going to have three on each side, which means nicely balanced. Assuming I have remembered this correctly. So let's give it a try. If we go ahead and do this, yeah, that is exactly what's happening. There. Very nice. And so that tends to be a pretty quick way to empty your train out. Short one little container. Do I have I do have enough resources to just build one. Now, if you really want to empty this as quickly as possible, you can empty it on both sides. And we may do this later on once we really get a lot of volume in here, but for now there's not going to be enough to make it worthwhile to worry about unloading on both sides. Boom and boom. Okay, so now we just have to figure out how we want to connect things up to this stuff, especially since I want to keep mining from the top. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to keep the top into there, like that. And then you're going to come that way. you're going to come over here. We'll replace these with reds. Boom. And then the bottom two, I'll actually have them like merge for now and do that. And once this mine is fully depleted, then we'll go and just move things around. But I think for now this is going to be a-okay. So I'm just going to do this, and then that, and then as a balance, do that and that, and that, and that. There we go. And that's going to be swell. So let me go ahead and do this, this, and this. And actually, make sure we don't have any of those. I'm going to get back into this. Oh, hold on, before I do. And this train right now is set to manual, so it won't leave when it's empty. I need a bunch of bullets. I've got some gun turrets, maybe not as many as I want. I don't have automated gun turret production yet. I probably should. But mostly we didn't have the material for it. That was it. It's like, okay, I can start automated, but it's not going to be enough. All right, that's a crap ton of bullets, but it'll have to do. Oh, you're actually waiting. You're having a hard time emptying out. More than I thought. Although you will, because you're going to empty into the bins here. All right, so if I get into the locomotive and reset you to, set you on automatic, so you're waiting for empty cargo, which just happened, so you've started to move. Oh, shoot. All right, let's, I'm going to hop out. Holy crap. What are they doing over there? How did they get through? All right, well, that train will do some stuff for now. It actually won't ever empty, but we'll get it to partially fill itself up and then come back. Or, sorry, it won't ever fill up because not all the wagons are currently being fed right now. Oh, geez. Oh, man. You know what we need? Artillery. We're losing so much stuff. So some actually went and started chewing on our signs. Most of them are running around the back of our little turret thing. Possible those turrets ran out of bullets. Oh, they killed the radar and my one gun over here, and then I think they went south. They did eventually get killed off. Okay, I don't think they actually broke any of the actual science production. Put you back in here. And put a little gun in here. Oh, past that. Just in case there's anything that trickles through. Do I want to just continue this wall over here? I think I might sort of have to, although I don't have enough guns to defend all of it. Do this. What I'm going to do is wrap the back of this up. Oh, there's rock. Well, I guess the rock works. As part of the fence, although it looks stupid, so I will mine out the rock. That way, if things come around here, they won't be smacking it quite as much. Okay. Oh! Wait, you took damage? Did it... Was there still something over here? Burr? I don't know. But what I may do, and clearly I'm going to have to manufacture some more guns, is I think I'll set up a little fort over here. Also, okay, that's quite the attacks. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to go around clearing out some more bugs here, because they are being quite eager to do stuff. I'm going to go back to the train here. I'm going to ask you to, oh, sorry, no. You go back to the iron drop-off, because I'm going to want to ride you north. Now, if I want to make more guns, I need iron plates. And automating that will be very nice, because it takes so much material and a fair amount of time to make a gun. Alright. And then we'll make those, and then have to call that good enough. I'm going to have to pave all this. I did actually start right up over here, some concrete production. So we're going to be just able to start paving everything with concrete. Concrete gives you a, I think, 140% the speed. So not 140% faster, just 100, so 40% faster. Stone paving is, I think, 30% faster, and then there's like an improved concrete as well. I'm not going to wait for you to be empty. I'm just going to send you to the iron pickup right away. But yeah, we got a lot of iron ore now piling up. We're just going to need to protect our mine in the north, and then we'll be we'll be ready to upgrade some of our production. We'll also be ready to put a cut in this. But yeah, things are being really hairy with these insects, and I'm particularly worried about our mines to the north, especially since we can't go and, like, reinforce it very rapidly. Maybe a full wall off isn't going to be possible just because of the limited guns, but maybe I'll just build a bunch of these little micro forts. That might actually be the way to go. So what I also want to do is hopefully not die from crossing in front of there. I want to drop a radar in here so we can get some local vision, which is going to be great. And yeah, maybe I'll just do that. Maybe I'll just do little pairs. Just, there we go. They can actually cover each other like this. It's hard to see the green radius here at night. It's kind of annoying. So yeah, I'll do a bunch of pairs. Okay, I guess we've already got a fort there, which is nice. And yeah, I just want the green circles to overlap. All right, so we're still building some guns, but I'm only putting 100 in each. They can fit 200, but I'm not sure how many bullets we just have with us. Yeah, let's double up. I was going to be lazy and only do a single layer. Well, actually, a single layer's... because a lot of times these things get killed by the aliens that actually have a ranged attack. So the walls don't matter as much anymore over there, but it really will save the melee ones from... or stop the melee ones from killing our stuff. Maybe I don't have to double up on the back as much, but... Dun dun dun, and I'll do that over there. I'll let more of these guns just finish up. And what we're going to do here is set up some mining. I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Whew. Like 50% of my videos include a sneeze. Alright, so you guys are coming through. I haven't checked our power situation in a while. Oh, we're golden. Excellent. Wonderful. So let's just go ahead and develop this up. Oh, is that all the miners I brought with me? Well, who? Alright, that's fine. In between episodes, I'll just construct some more. Well, probably what I'll do is I'm going to set up an area that produces miners as well as turrets, which is going to be useful for our next series of science that we're going to do. And right over here, we need to, there we go, do that. So we're actually feeding into all 4 of the cars. Just get a couple more guns set up over here. So again, I'm having the green circles sort of overlap, so these mini forts do cover each other. Like that. And then so they won't cover each other there, but I'm going to get a couple more over here to protect the locomotive. I'll leave the back empty there, so I've got a way to walk. Not as worried about things coming around that way. Boom, boom, boom. Excellent. And then, actually, I will put 200 in these because they don't really cover each other as much, so these guys might need a few more guns. Oh, did I not hit you? Boop. Excellent. All right. One of the things you will have to worry about is refueling your trains from time to time. What we'd like to do, ideally, is have them automatically refuel when they're at a stop somewhere, which is certainly something we're going to do. Oh, I did not finish you guys over here. I guess I can just put a cut in it at this point. We've done a fair number of good deeds, good work here. I'll put 200s here because I do have enough bullets left over. Setting up this this mining area is going to be huge because now, yeah, now we know, like, because it's really bad if you run out of your iron ore before you set up another iron ore mine. So it was really important to get this set up before our initial deposit ran out. Because running out is horrible. But in addition to that, now we can do higher pace. So again, we had a big backlog of iron plates because we really weren't producing anything because they'd let everything fill up. But I can guarantee you our production was highly insufficient for a long time. But now we've got enough iron ore, I can get the smelting up a little bit more. And yeah, I'll get a little bit more manufacturing going as well. So you're a series of little forts. It's just a little easier. Well, I mean, at this point, the problem is, like, spreading it out evenly along all the walls. It does let you set up some auto reloading. I don't know. We'll just have to get some, like, laser turrets up at some point, but this should mostly work out. So I'll ride this guy back home, and overall we're okay. So yeah, we're gonna get some pollution out of here, as you can see, and the radar is pretty noisy, so I'm gonna have to go and clear out some of these nests And since, you know, I do it sort of carefully and cautiously, I will probably do it in between episodes and just push back these borders a fair bit. Although to do that, I will need to get automatic gun construction, but now I can. So that is good and lovely. There we go, come down here. And yeah, backlog here. We will get more smelting up, but the biggest thing is that we're just going to start consuming these iron plates again, and that will start to go very quickly. There you go. Even just building these, the firearm magazines take a while. How am I doing on grenades? Let's get some more. So I wanted to make sure to get a little grenade production set up. Oh, there, see? These guys are going to be fighting. You've already taken some damage here. Actually, this turret is almost dead. Yeah, I'm going to have to push those out. Folks, thanks for watching. I'll do the tedious nest clearing in between episodes here. And when we come back, what we're probably going to do is set us up some new research. I think I did unlock the research, yeah, from military science packs over here. So we're going to be looking at doing that. And in the meantime, what I'll probably do is just research the rest of the oil tech, because, I mean, probably we'll set up military research next episode, and then after that, we'll set up oil production for the real next big step up in technology. Once you've got oil set up, things go pretty crazy. But, yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you guys next time.